Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for watching this episode of Ask the Culpeppers. I bet you're asking yourself, why am I standing here all alone? Well, I can tell you why. For the past several weeks, my wife has been dealing with a lot of pain internally, health-wise. And so, doctor visit after doctor visit, medication after medication, just didn't seem to work. We went to the ER, and they discovered that her appendix was infected or inflaming and that it needed to be removed. Prior to that, my wife had to eat and couldn't hold down any food. And so it has definitely impacted our whole family. It's impacted our videos. It's impacted our time together because all of our focus has gone toward trying to figure out what was going on with her. But I'm proud to let you know that she's in recovery now. Many of you replied to the Facebook post about her health, and we are so thankful for the prayers. We're thankful for the support. We're thankful for our church family and for those that have sent messages and flowers, and she's on the road to recovery. So, now with that said, going into the sunlight of this awesome spring that we're having here, we're just thankful that she's on the way to recovery, and we'll come back with our videos as the Culpeppers. We'll come back with jokes with Linda, all of our impromptu videos and things like that, just sharing the love of family with all of you. So we thank you for your support, your continued support, and we hope that these videos that we share add a blessing to you and encourage you and your family. And we thank you. Here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Culpeppers. Today, on this episode, I have a very, very, very special guest in the studio that's going to give us first-hand knowledge on this question that we have today. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to my friend of over 25 years, Demetruis Williams. Welcome him to the studio.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
So we received a question that says, my husband and I have been married for 10 years, and he's a snorer. Like snoring the roof off of houses. I am losing sleep and I want to sleep in separate rooms. I love him very much, but I'm exhausted. I could fall asleep at work. This is so bad. Will this hurt our marriage, or do I compromise my health over my marriage? Signed, Sleepless in Peterborough. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting question. I think that's affecting people all over the world. It's not just a specific area or anything like that, but snoring. So the lady wants to know, I can't sleep next to him, is what she's saying in her marriage. And so Demetruis has firsthand information and knowledge on, this issue that this particular lady is having. So Demetruis, what are your thoughts on that question? They've been married for 10 years and he's a snorer. Can you tell us how did this impact your household and your marriage as well? This type of situation.
Well, first of all, I want to say we've been friends for 25 years, and it's taking you this long to get me on this show.
I know, man. I know.
Man.
I know.
Man, I feel like I'm low on the totem pole here.
No, man. I tell you what, it's just in time, man, because you would be a person that can certainly help us out. So see how that timing worked out.
Yeah.
So tell us what's your thoughts on this, Demetruis?
Well, my thoughts on this is actuality. You got to go back a little bit. Me and Pep have been friends for over 25 years. We actually met at Navarro Junior College, where we were roommates. Neither one of us snored back then, which because I was a little bit small. I think I started because I've gained quite a bit of weight in my former years. But it is actually this machine here has actually been one of the best things that has ever happened for me. And the simple reason was I actually sleep a whole lot better as well. I was doing the exact same thing. My wife was like, "Man, you're snoring. You're snoring so much I can't get any sleep." So how I knew that I had a problem was my wife pretty much told me. And as most men know, your wives are pretty much gonna tell you what's going on.
Be honest with you, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be honest with what's going on, because my
truth.
wife wasn't getting much sleep. So at that point in time, I kind of asked a bunch of questions, and everybody was like, "Man, hey, man, you may need to go check out. You might have sleep apnea." So what I did was my wife actually. I didn't do it. My wife actually called the doctor for me and set the appointment up.
Let me ask you a question. Was there a point in time when y'all slept in separate rooms because of this issue, or did y'all stay in the same room?
No, there were some times that we actually did sleep in separate rooms, because my wife she couldn't sleep. She would nudge me and turn me over, and I would stop maybe for about 30, maybe 45 minutes, but then I'd get right back to snoring again. It was getting to a point where it was really affecting her sleep. And as once your sleep if your sleep is affected, there are so many things that can go on. I mean, you're going to be tired at work. You're going to be very irritable, a whole lot more cranky.
Well, let me ask you a question. When she had to go and sleep in separate rooms, was that okay with you guys, marriage-wise? Did you feel like it hurt your marriage, or when you guys did that, or do you think maybe it was the onset of saying, "Hey, we're sleeping in separate rooms. Maybe I can go see a doctor and just kind of see what's going on if there's something I'm not aware of"?
Well, for us, it was. It wasn't like it wasn't a horrible thing. When I say that, for me, it was a bad feeling, because I was away from my wife. I mean, it wasn't like it was going to cause us to have a divorce.
Okay.
It was just, I like to hug my wife in the middle of the night sometimes. Just that intimacy that you don't have, because your wife is in a
separate room.
She's in a totally separate room.
Okay.
And of course, if you're married, you want to be able to sleep together. Whether just being close, just being next to each other, to me it helps me sleep a whole lot better.
So what did the doctor say? Okay, so y'all slept in separate rooms, and you figured it was time to seek medical attention. When you went to the doctor, what did he say that led up to this machine?
Well, what he pretty much told me was they're gonna actually put you on a bunch of tests they'll give you like a sleep test, because every machine is pretty much set to it's customized for you. It was an overnight stay. I checked into the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much hooked a bunch of machines up to me and just kind of monitored my sleeping.
Okay.
And that's kind of what you do all night long. They'll come in throughout the night, of course, wake you up, and change the positions of the little things that they put on your head and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, and they pretty much test whether or not you have sleep apnea or not.
Okay. So this machine right here is what they recommended to you, right?
Yep. There's a bunch of different ones. This is just the one that just best fit me, I guess, and kind of what they decided.
What they decided.
Yeah, what they decided to give me.
So then, since you've been on this machine here, and how has it changed your marriage or your situation?
Oh man, it's 100% better. I sit around now and I don't snore, which actually makes my wife very happy, because we've been back in the same bedroom, of course, for forever, it's I can tell sometimes I go to sleep kind of late. And if I'm real tired, sometimes I'll just lay down and I won't put it on. And I guarantee you, within 30 minutes, my wife is nudging me. "Hey, put your machine on. Put your machine on." I'm like, "You sure I don't have it on?" She's like, "No, you don't have your I put it on, and I don't snore. And the benefits about it, actuality, is not only for your partner or your wife, but it lets them sleep, but it actually improves your sleep as well, because basically what sleep apnea is, it's like you get woke up in the middle of the night, every so often, just for the sleep apnea, and so you're actually getting a whole lot of rest. I do not go anywhere without my machine, and I've got a case with it. I tote it around with me whenever we're on trips, which is quite often. So, man, I won't go anywhere without it because I can tell the difference when I sleep with it and when I sleep without it. The sleep is so much better. You actually sleep through the night instead of being woken up every 30 or 45 minutes.
So it sounds like this has really improved your sleep, your quality of sleep, your wife's quality of sleep. And for a period of time, y'all did have to sleep in separate rooms to get down to what the issue was, so that both of you guys could get good sleep. So the question was, will it hurt my marriage, or do you compromise your health from the person that sent the question? And so I think it's okay to sleep in separate rooms. I don't think it needs to be long term because you do miss the intimacy. But however, with your spouse, it may be that they need to seek medical attention just to do a sleep test, just to see what the sleep pattern is, and to see if there's some type of aid or equipment out there that may be able to help them get better sleep at night. And it seems like that's what you've done in order to improve the quality of sleep for your wife. And this is portable, and you're able to take it with you, and it allows you to get better sleep as well.
And I've talked to like a ton of people who have sleep apnea, and it seems like it's more men. I don't know. It seems like the women say the same thing. My husband is snoring. They're pretty much just, I can't sleep, and they're like, well, the best thing that happened was when they got tested and they got their CPAP machine. So I would recommend it for any, if you're snoring. And it's really, really bad, especially if you didn't used to snore. I would recommend one of these machines here, or go get tested to actually get one, because man, it was a great thing for me.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, we certainly appreciate you being on the show, and hope that this helps somebody, because it is a lot of people that are dealing with this particular matter that just may need this tip or encouragement coming from someone that actually used the machine to let them know that they may need to seek medical attention so that everybody can get some sleep and not snore the roof off the house, as the lady that submitted the question and said. So hoping this helped, and then right after this, I'm going to speak to another guest on the show that also has first-hand information. So you guys stay with us, and we'll be right back after this short break. Thank you. Thank you, man.
For the final portion of our show, we received a written response from Cherise Mccall, educator and writer for the Baby Spot CA Digital Parenting Magazine. She says these words: I think it really comes down to whether a couple is willing to sacrifice one person's rest for the other. The spouse who can't sleep through the spouse's snoring is no more at fault than the spouse who is snoring. So snoring can't be taken personally, and neither can not being able to sleep through someone snoring. I always want to sleep in the same bed as Frank. Well, almost always. But when I try to soldier through his snoring, I end up being very irritable and hard to live with after a couple of days. Just as I would if I'd been working the graveyard shift. I used to think that the Lord would do for me what he did when my babies weren't sleeping through the night. I'd be up and down all night, but somehow still able to function well the next day. And I could do that for days on end. But nope. So far, he hasn't done that. I guess it's a gift he reserves for he task of mothers. So unless we're able to find a solution that meets both our needs, we're going to have to accept that there will be many nights that we'll sleep separately, maybe until death do us part. It's certainly not ideal, but I think we can make it work. Cherise Mccall. Thank you folks for watching.